Why do I feel like this is not going to be good for me? This is my dad's handwriting, and I cannot read my dad's handwriting.
And my son, Tony, when you were too small to remember, you were always interested in cars.
So, Stu, during the past 20 years, I've called you
a prodigy, a punk, a good guy with a big heart, a jerk.
Killing me, Smalls. God. To see how much you've grown over the years as a person, I've really enjoyed being a part of it. I will not cry. Unless you bring an onion or squirt a lemon in my eye, I will not cry.
4 handwritten letters from 4 very influential people in Tony Stewart's life. Those are the appreciation letters, and they wrote those directly to Tony Stewart's. He presented those, and that will air on Countdown to Green on Sunday. You don't want to miss Tony Stewart's final run at the Brickyard. 24 this week. We know that Jeff Gordon's here, but it's not Jeff Gordon driving the 24. It's still Chase Elliott. And Chase Elliott is 6th quickest in this first practice session for the Sprint Cup Series. At Daytona, Chase Elliott's a little bit of a struggle. He gets caught up in this one. Nowhere to go, right up against the wall. Then at Kentucky, Ryan Blaney. Blaney on the inside, the 21, catches the left rear, and around they both go. Flat tire on the restart last week at Loudon. Drops him all the way back once again. So bad luck has been with the 24 team, wanting to get rid of that bad luck and not have the kind of finishes like we've seen over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, Rick, and I was lucky enough to spend some time with Chase yesterday here around the Speedway. And Chase, I won't say that he is worried. He didn't seem worried about the recent finishes, but he is definitely aware. He's aware of the points that they've lost. He's aware they've given up a big cushion. And I think, he's such a mature young man. We forget at only 20 years old.
Yeah.
We forget that because of his actions not only behind the wheel, but on the radio. He just seems wiser than his years. But even yesterday, he seemed wiser than his years because he didn't seem like a panicky 20-year-old kid. He seemed like a veteran race car driver that had a lot of faith in his race team, a lot of faith in Alan Gustafson, and believes that they have the speed. He told me he'd be much more worried if they couldn't run anywhere near the front. They need more speed. He also didn't sugarcoat the fact they're trying to catch Joe Gibbs Racing and Penske at times. But the fact that they have speed enough to make a chase, said he sleeps better at night. He just knows they need to get it to the finish line.
Well, with speed, you can overcome problems, but they have to go out. They have to stop the problems. I mean, they have cut their lead, their chase advantage in half in 4 races. So that can't continue. They got to find a way to stop it because I thought they were a lock. A month ago, hey, they're locked. They're
sure.
in, but most likely they're still going to make the chase. But another bad race this weekend, and I think the pressure does start to build.
More on the 24 team. Let's go to Kelly Stavis.
As you guys were talking about the maturity of Chase, I actually talked to Alan Gustafson about that, and he said what he's most impressed with is, for a 20-year-old, just how ready, complete, and prepared a race car driver he is. Well, it's Chase's 2nd Cup start here at Indy, but already he's been to Victory Lane and had the opportunity to kiss the bricks. That was when his father, Bill Elliott, won here back in 2002. Chase, however, did not kiss the bricks, but he said it was such a special moment. This is such a special place. He said it is one of the few victory lanes that he actually remembers of being a part of. Now, Chase has been on track, made a couple of different runs. You see him heading back to the garage right now. Here's what he had to say after his 2nd run of the afternoon.
A little snugger, trying to turn the other direction in the middle. And sometimes that loss of grip in the nose would carry, from the time you lost it all the way out to the wall. Other times, and even that first lap, you were kind of worried about it snapping free. So there's a lack of grip in the nose, but you're still worried about the snap.
You hear him diagnosing the 24 there, but I mentioned he did not kiss the bricks when he was a young boy here with his dad in Victory Lane. And I wonder, Jeff, is this sort of like the Stanley Cup? Like, you wouldn't want to drink out of the Stanley Cup unless you won it. It's sort of like bad luck, right?
I love watching the kids when they go out to kiss the bricks, and they're like, I'm not doing that. I'm only 5 or 6, but you told me not to kiss the bricks, right? And so that's, Chase Elliott talked about he didn't kiss the bricks when he was 6, and I think that's where the mentality is. I'm not supposed to kiss the dirt.
That's what the kiss dirt. Now, the teammate to 24 of Chase Elliott, Jimmy Johnson, has shown incredible speed already.
Well, Jeff mentioned earlier this unique schedule for Indianapolis. It's been like this as long as I can remember, but it's unique to how these Sprint Cup cars normally practice. 2 practices today, no practice tomorrow, qualifying only. Jimmy Johnson and this 48 team was able to come up here and test with 14 other cars. It was a big test here a week or so ago. And they felt good about their test, so much so that here in practice, they have already run only qualifying trip. They've made 2 qualifying runs. Looks like a big change here, maybe swapping over to race trip. 2 qualifying runs for Jimmy Johnson to put him on top of the board by 1 second over Casey Mears. I mean, that is a big gap, but this is interesting to me, their approach, Jeff. It tells me that Chad Canales, Jimmy Johnson, they've won here before, multiple times. They know how important qualifying is. We cannot stress enough. Tomorrow, group qualifying, how important that's going to be for the race.
Yeah, and this team does what they want to do. They don't care what other people are doing. They just do what they want to do. They have confidence in themselves. They have confidence they can unload and be fast right off the truck and go make a Q run. They march their own beat.
And as Steve had mentioned, when you win at Indianapolis, you're a champion. Jimmy Johnson, fastest.